Hi, everyone. My name's Andrew.
My name's sorry.
Who are you?
Sorry. My name's Shuhui.
And my name is Josué.
And welcome. The warmest possible welcome to everyone listening to our third discussion episode for episode 3 of Shrouded Stories Beyond the Great Wall. Oh, I can't believe it's taken until episode 3 for us to synchronize on Beyond the Great Wall.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We'll catch you next time as well.
Yes. Oh, we'll do it. Today we're talking about episode 3, Fuxi Draws the Bagua. So, incest. Let's talk about some of the context here. I know that must be what's on everyone's mind immediately after listening to it. There are many questions to be asked about this because we're not just I'm not just talking about incest. I mean about the entire episode because we're dealing with what sound like to be some very big foundational concepts for ancient Chinese mythological outlook on the world. So we'll begin with the incest though because that's fun. There's an implied taboo here, of course, because the plot is, well, they have to get special permission. They need to get a signed card to actually have a permitted marriage. So I guess the question is, what do we know or not know about the way that incest was viewed, taboo or otherwise, or on a scale of 1 to 10, how taboo are we talking for the ancient Chinese world?
Right now, 10.
10. Yeah.
It's a crime. But in a long period of the history, a lot of the royalty families actually marry their cousin, and not because of to keep the blood pure, but because most of the times their cousins' parents or uncles, close relatives, they are in power as well. So it's like a combination of power and force to conquer more.
Oh.
That's very royalty period.
It's so royalty.
Yeah.
I mean, not that, again, yet another thing I don't know anything about, except...
Well, we know enough.
Well, it's true. We have the vague impression of sort of big-chinned rulers who've been...
And very political marriages.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's accessible in that way.
But as it can dismiss, we're probably not in that realm. And I know they were asking for permission. I kind of want to say there's a upper force over.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
not get ahead of it.
No, we can get to it now. Why not?
Okay.
Clearly, as you say, it seems as if the motivator here is an actual sibling love connection, which, is not totally uncommon in Western myth or in literature. I just learned yesterday that apparently in one of Tolkien's Middle-earth stories, there's an important brother-sister couple. I've not read. I think it's one of the Unfinished Tales or something.
Yeah.
Or in the Silmarillion, I think. We're not talking about that today, though. Well, only to say that there's the ring cycle. There's
also Greek mythology has a lot of of that, Zeus and Hera and the Titans as well, and also Egyptian mythology has I think it was Osiris and Isis or something there's a lot of that ongoing, and maybe it's just because the world needs to be populated somehow and that's just the only way, or maybe there's another significance to it. I don't know.
The ancients clearly had incest on the mind. Yeah, I mean what?
That was just funny.
It does make logical sense, especially because in the timeline of the universe in this story we're going over, it's early on, it's early days, and
I mean, yeah, but the record, on paper record of this story was happening during Tang Dynasty, which is considered one of the more open dynasty as for female figures and marriage and that kind of thing. But still, they're considering this as not suggested unless you have blessing from the above.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. But to get to your point that we were going to jump to earlier about the forces that are being prayed to. So
the heavens.
The heavens. Okay. What are the heavens, Shuhui?
No expert. Personal guess. When we were talking about Pangu opening up the world, he was in this chaos. I do think there's space outside of that chaos egg. And like Bagua, what Fuxi draws in this episode, is an outcome of a derivative of 4 seasons. And the 4 seasons are like split from yin and yang, the 2 energies. And those 2 are born from one single seed, which is an egg. So we have this line here just following. So what is that seed born from? So I'm guessing there's upper force trying to balance this kind of force and then give offsprings and creating a world.
So there's a whole sorry, this is just mind blowing to me because normally we associate gods with like there's nothing beyond that, and even if you have like different gods fighting against each other, maybe like maybe Odin is more powerful than Thor and stuff like that. They're still gods, but this kind of like feels like even the gods have gods themselves. Like there's something above them that goes beyond that goes beyond what we have access to.
We don't usually have like a tangible form for that kind of force, but like the DSTs that we're describing now in our stories, they're more like human or just more able human, and they're no way near omnis. What was the word?
Omniscient.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Damn.
I've been home minute. Please continue. Omniscience. Yes.
You okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm just weeping. No. Yes, but yes, makes sense. I mean, especially when we look at a lot of.
Does it? It doesn't make sense. Oh,
Wait till I'm done.
Okay, sorry.
No, all I mean is it makes sense in terms of in the context of other mythologies that the gods are not necessarily the be all end all, especially when in this case they're people. They're with motivations. They're not sort of mysterious figureheads on the mountain who know all and are perfect. Which actually brings me to a question about sort of the status of this one guy who's new on the scene, Fuxi. So, brother to Nua, are we thinking of him explicitly as a god? And we know he becomes a king, but what is he by the time the story ends? Is he like a god who has become a god king among mortals, or does he have to? This is a little bit fan fiction-y because I'm kind of imposing a lot of questions, but is there an element of is godhood lessened by interaction with mortals in this way? What's the deal with Fuxi is my question.
I would say, well, first of all, he's a brother of Nua, so they look alike. They have similar abilities. What was that?
Similar.
Oh no, I was just going to ask if they're both snake people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Human head, snake body.
So does he have also like the ability to create and stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
But those 2, the pair, are considered like the gods of marriage and
Gotcha.
bearing, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does beg other questions. I mean, as long as we're on the topic of the relationship of these 2, there's just in the chronological world of going from Nua creating humans to this story, we have a shift in that Nua was very much our protagonist of our last episode. In this case, suddenly things shift over. Even though she is the mother figure, the creator of the human race, it's Fuxi who becomes king. And it's him who makes this discovery / articulation of the Bagua and gives it to human beings. It's, forgive me for using the P word, but it feels like we're shifting to a slightly more patriarchal worldview. What's going on here? Did we just misread the previous story and its like motherhood implications?
No, I think that still exists. Cause, for example, a lot of the ancient surnames, like myself, which is Yao, we still have this part of the character that contains the word female. So it's like a transitional stage where we're delivering the, not willingly, but moving the power to more male figures than female figures.
So that's why like Nua just kind of like becomes like a wife in this story.
A little bit.
And that's it.
And I think historically what happened is just hunting started.
Well, it feels lucky that she will become a more prominent character later on. In
Stay
things,
tuned.
which is- stay tuned. Let's reel him in for the next one. Oh, good. I mean, with that said, as long as we're kind of talking about the shift of what's being given to the human beings and who's giving it, let's talk about the Bagua itself. I'll admit, I when I was first reading about it and when we were getting ready to record this stuff, I had some trouble visualizing, and even after one sees it, it still is. It's not an uncomplicated thing. I guess if I had a question, I'll phrase it as a question. that should we think of the Bagua as sort of this talismanic thing that is discovered by Fuxi that he is able to give to humans, and now they're able to predict the weather and understand the forces of the universe, or is it more like the uncovering of an algorithm that now allows people to know more about the nitty-gritty function of the elements bouncing off of each other?
More like a algorithm, because it's like a chart that you reference to. Maybe it's representing something, and then when you are doing the what is it called? Sometimes the turtleneck, and then burn them and try to fortune tell. They will give you a hint on how your Bagua is going to look like, and based on how they look like, then you can derive what's going to happen. There are books about like how you do it. If you're really interested, you can definitely look into that. But it's not, as you said, like it should be a simple thing. It's actually really complicated.
Are you referring to like a personal Bagua that each when you say with not storytelling, a fortune telling?
Not a personal Bagua, but like each event that you're trying to tell, it will have a different scene that you will see.
Okay, and is this, because now I'm interested, it's so much done in the context of weather events and sort of world things, but it feels like it's so broad that it's like an election predictor or like other non-weathery things.
Yeah, it not only predicts weather, it's also contributed to agriculture, geography sometimes, arts, sometimes history as well, and like creations, scientific stuff. It's way broader than you can imagine.
Is it still based on physical elements? Because I know like it kind of goes like into the elements, the seasons, and then keeps going on to like physical, tangible things.
Yes.
Or does it go past like to like some more like maybe emotional aspects or metaphysical?
Yes, because like you have the 8 different elements, and then they have like derivatives of like this might be representing this part of the family relationship, in which might have this like emotional surrounding that's suggesting, and this maybe have like I don't know, like a certain events that's gonna happen.
Okay, kind of like a storm is coming to your emotional life, stuff like.
Could be like the combination.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's not exactly like a palm reading type of thing, but it's not too many miles off.
I hope.
But I also think like in this story at least, we keep coming back to the topic of agency, because it's like Fuxi like discovered this thing and was able to like quantify it to some extent on a diagram, and then gave that as a tool to humans to use as needed as the weather change and all that.
We've basically reached our Prometheus myth, kind of.
Yeah, like the giving of the fire and stuff.
It's like what we were telling in the Pangu story. He was given too, and right now Niwa and Fuxi are both trying to give twos to humans, so we can prepare for their leaving. Oh, oops.
Oh, spoiler.
Uh-oh. It's all right. For the context, you'll have to tune in now. You have no choice. But that's all true and good.
Yeah, there's also like still like the whole concept of like this is something that's discovered. It's not something that's created.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit like loss of the universe kind of thing.
Force above.
forces above.
Right,
The heavens.
This is another thing we're coming back to. It's a lot of agency and a lot of talking about these slightly ineffable forces that not only dictate what humans do, but what the gods do, and the deities, and the semi-gods, or so on and so forth. It feels like we're existing in the same world as asking, okay, what was outside the egg? Well, what are the heavens Nuwa and Fuxi had to pray to? What the forces of the Bagua, were these simply always in play? And it feels like the answer is very much yes. It's like there's some kind of a tangle of the Bagua until the egg opens in episode 1. Go listen to it now. And then suddenly, not only are these things settled into an order, but then articulated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does it keep going? Like, because like it's like one thing becomes 2, then becomes 2 again, 4 and 8. Does it keep going, or does it kind of like just stop?
So the last one is Bagua becomes everything.
Oh. Okay, that
Like,
becomes the
it
world.
keeps
That's
going,
pretty
just-
thorough.
Yeah, becomes the
We're
world.
not keep tracking of it.
Okay, yeah.
It goes on.
But it goes on.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's literally like a unifying theory of how everything is. That's cool. I like that.
It's cool to have a unifying theory of everything.
Yeah. Someday.
It's, oh my God. Well, listen, we've come to the end of our regularly scheduled questions. We went over a couple things we didn't plan to go over, but before we wrap up here, are there any more things that are just burning inside of us that we must release or perish?
Well, I don't like that he became the king.
It doesn't seem
He didn't
fair,
create
does
the
it?
Humans. No.
Yeah.
Does he get any kind of worship? Because I know like we have the whole wine aspect with Nuwa.
Not that I'm aware of. If there's like a specific thing, but he did contribute more than just drawing the Bagua, like
Okay.
the counting methods in the ancient time and like recording the history. But we're not including in the this mythology per se.
Okay.
Maybe later. Maybe in a subsequent episode. So I feel so cheap. I'm doing so many. Tune in. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
We can be forgiven for that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's first podcast. It'll be fine.
It's true. We're so new to this, you guys. We're just terribly. So you'll be gentle and merciful and forgiving, as we must be with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're trying.
we're trying. So it feels like we're bringing it to an end at the moment.
Yes.
Yes. About here is where our stinger will slightly be. It's.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning in to our third discussion episode for Shrouded Stories Beyond the Great Wall. Thank you. I was waiting for
I'm
it.
not joining.
Come on.
All right. Well, maybe next time we'll persuade Shuhui to join us. Tune in next time, and we'll talk more about things we don't know much about, but we'll do so enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye.
Translation by Shuhui Yao. English adaptation by Andrew Goehring. Music by Solomon Locke. Sound effects by Shuhui Yao and Josué Vera. Art by Ursula Young. Produced by Shuhui Yao and Josué Vera.